Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of LinkedOut. My name is Michael. I'm filling in for Harsh today. LinkedOut is a show that is about the rebels, the outcasts, the black sheep of the business community. They did it their way. However they got there, they did it their way. And today we have somebody who definitely did it her way. Her name is Sahar, and she is the founder and CEO of Bamboo U, sustainable tissue paper. But there's a lot more to that story, and we're going to find out in this episode. Sahar, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm very familiar with your business, but there's a lot of people out there who need to know exactly what you do and who you are. So let's start off with the business and then tell us how the Sahar that I know was led to that.
Of course. So Bamboo U is a brand of tissues made entirely from bamboo. And we've taken the guesswork out of eco-friendly tissues, essentially. They're made sustainably, they're packed plastic-free, they feel amazing, so there's no sacrifice on quality, and they look really cool, so there's an incentive for everyone to switch to better tissues.
And when you say, it's a new generation of sustainable products, right?
Yeah.
And this is proudly made in the UAE?
We're not made in the UAE, so it's
Okay.
designed in the UAE. We're headquartered here. We manufacture in China. We use Chinese bamboo. It's manufactured close to farm. And we host our products here in Dubai, and it's delivered across the UAE
Okay.
every day.
But I do remember you mentioned that you are studying possibly growing the bamboo here. I've never heard of bamboo growing in the desert.
Yeah,
What's that like?
it's not easy. We haven't, it's something that we've taken a pause on just because we've realized that it takes it would be months of work into doing that research, obviously, and implementing it. And we're focusing on really establishing the brand, bringing in products that are innovative, that speak to our customers, and kind of building that foundation first before we start adding more technical elements into it. But definitely something that's in the pipeline for me.
Okay. Tell us how did you come across this idea, bamboo and sustainable material and tissue, and how you've connected all of that together?
So I've always been curious about sustainability at home, just from a personal perspective, finding solutions for products that we use every day and choosing better ones, essentially. And I wasn't after a product to create. I was more looking for a tissue product that was sustainable. And I couldn't find anything that was of the quality that was approved by my family, which was my husband and my kids. We switched to recycled tissues for several months, and I only heard complaints. So I was like, there should be something better. Maybe to take a step back as well, standard tissues are made from trees, and it contributes to 15% of global deforestation. So that to me was reason enough to look for eco tissues. And I knew there had to be a better quality and a better experience with sustainable tissues. And when I found an experienced bamboo, it was a no-brainer. Also from a business perspective, like the size of the potential market is obviously huge. Everyone uses tissues, so I knew that I didn't have to convince people to use tissues for the first time, so that was like we were already ahead with that. And again, with my background in marketing and CPGs in particular, I knew I can bring a twist and make tissues cool again.
Okay,
So
that's
what we did.
interesting. Well, you mentioned your background in marketing. Maybe then now would be a good time for us to just learn a little bit more about your history and that journey that led all the way to the creation of Bamboo U.
Yeah.
So, because obviously, you weren't like you weren't thinking about this the whole time, right?
Yeah,
In
absolutely.
the past, at one point, the eureka moment happened. Okay, tell us about that.
So my professional background is in digital marketing. I actually started my career at NBC. And so media was like this amazing world that I wanted to enter. And while
NBC is the channel?
correct, yes.
Okay.
I was still at university, and I kind of sneaked my way into the marketing department, and I started interning on the side with the channel managers. And I realized that that's where my passion lies. And it was still the very early days of digital marketing and digital agencies. And from there, I went on and worked for an e-commerce company. And then for about 10 years, I worked at an agency. It was a local boutique agency, but we worked with massive consumer brands as our clients. So that's where I really gained my muscles in communicating products that are physical as an end product, but have that digital explanation and FOMO and reach, really. So when it came to Bamboo, I knew I had the confidence and I had the network in creating something that can be really, really attractive online. And as a go-to-market strategy, actually, we decided that e-commerce and direct-to-consumer was the first step. Not only because I found comfort there, but also because I knew we have a lot more opportunity to speak to our customers than we would have if we went straight on shelves in retail.
Okay. But tell us about that particular moment when you came across this idea and you thought, wow, this is something that I could really, put my effort into.
So listen, our first product was a toilet paper, and for about a year, I only sold toilet paper, and it was just ridiculous to everyone that I spoke with, including my parents, who are the most supportive people in the world, and they're like, "You're going to leave your job to start a toilet paper company."
Mm.
I was like, "Yes, everybody uses toilet
It
paper."
doesn't sound very glamorous
It's not. It's
on
not.
paper.
Absolutely not.
No pun intended.
No, but that's the thing. I think it's also what's made Bamboo really special is that cool people are not launching tissue brands today.
Yeah.
And it gives our product that edge and the trend, and it does more than just its function. So one was the product was really unique in how it looked and how customers experienced it. It gave customers in the UAE an opportunity to feel like they're making a difference with not that big of a premium. So you don't have to go and change your car, or you don't have to decide you're never eating meat again. You're buying the same thing, better quality, better experience because it looks amazing, and you're having an amazing impact environmentally.
Well, that's okay. So what I find interesting about this is you are right. Tissue paper, toilet paper in particular, is such a big part of everyday life that we take it for granted. We don't really think about it. Of all the brands in the world that advertise toilet paper, what is that brand with the puppy?
Cell Pack.
Something like that, but they're all about softness and comfort and so on.
Oh yeah, it's all feathers and puppies and cotton and
right. But that is the only kind of brand building that I've noticed about tissue paper or toilet paper. Yours, on the other hand, if our friends in the audience can see, look at the packaging here. That they're very cool, they're very trendy. Definitely a lot more contemporary than what your parents probably buy for you in your home. So this is almost like the new generation. It's the new era of home products, right?
Absolutely.
You mentioned two things that I found very interesting. People don't think about this all the time, so it's easy to get into that habit. It's not a big decision. It's not a big lifestyle change. So it's an easy way to get into more sustainable living.
Absolutely.
That's number one. And number two, it's an opportunity for you to bring in your marketing creativity, because not a lot of people do brand building work for this category.
Yeah.
Right. So given those two insights into, how cool this new brand could be, how did that impact your audience? Like, what was their first reaction when they saw your products on the market?
So we started with grassroots only. For year one, I didn't have any marketing budget. I had invested everything into actually making the product and running a business. And so it was all word of mouth. We there still is Ripe Market is one of the best kind of platforms to start at. We would be at events and I would connect with influencers and kind of send them the product, and it's always that wow experience that you get when you open it, and it's very surprising because it's unexpected. It's unexpected for a tissue to wow you. So it was like you receive this big brown box and you open it, and there's these like incredible colors and designs and quality and some things that you want.
Are they coded according to the variant, to the SKU, or are they just different designs, the packaging?
Just different designs. It's the same barcode, same product.
Okay, so you got blue, you've got pink, you've got
or
orange.
green. There's obviously we innovate every year, and we bring in new products and new twists to our existing products. So
okay, these are the regular tissues. These are not the toilet paper ones?
No, these are tissues. So we originally created them. It's actually interesting talking about audiences and their responses. So we launched this in 2024, and we were already up and running for 2 and a bit years. So we kind of had built that like niche cult following, and we had good access to our regular customers, and we sent out a survey, and we knew we had to read between the lines because at that point I had already launched the basics of tissue. So we had toilet paper, kitchen rolls, a couple of different tissue box styles, and we're like, okay, what are really the pain points that customers have in Dubai or in the UAE? I don't want to ask them what tissues would you like because they have access to tissues. So we asked questions like, what are the most painful moments in your day? And I can't remember the actual percentage, but really like more than 70% said Dubai traffic, and that I spend so much of my time in the car, and I'm dropping off my kids, or I'm on my way back from work and I get home at 8 instead of 6:30. And that was kind of like a pain point for them, and we thought, how can we make that experience nicer in some ways? And our car tissues were born.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was gonna ask, where was this going to?
No. So we created tissue boxes that fit perfectly into the car cup holder, and you can you no longer have to, while driving, reach for your tissue box on the floor of the car, and someone's sneezing in the back and they don't have a tissue, and it's the little things, and it's really evolved from there. Now we discovered through our clients that it fits perfectly into their stroller cup holder and diaper bags and travel bags. So it really solves big kind of on-the-go moments for our customers, and that's been really cool. And we have a couple of more products that we're launching end of this year, and another one.
All still related to tissues in general.
All related to tissues and all bamboo. But again, adding a twist.
Wet
and
wipes
really,
maybe?
Not
or is that
wet.
environmentally unfriendly?
You can make them sustainable. I'm trying to do different stuff. Wet wipes do exist, and some brands do it really well. And like really our selling point is that we'll do things that you can't find on the shelves, or you've never thought about. So it's really surprising our customers, either with the format of the pack or the ingredients or the raw material that we use. So it will still be within the world of bamboo, but allowing us to speak to more moments in our customers' lives.
With the age of AI, have you ever thought about making custom tissue paper according to people's individual preferences?
It would be cool. It would be cool. It's just, with production, you have a minimum quantity that you have to produce with each round. And if there is enough of an interest in, the segment that you're trying to tackle, but by all means. But I think we might be a couple of years away from
from something as customized as that.
Yeah, but that would be really cool.
What's interesting is that this is not really just a product that you're selling. You're also giving people a chance to make a statement about their preferences and their life choices that start out with something as simple as tissue paper. Do you feel that this is, I don't want to use the term woke, but it feels like this is it leads you to into a new era of consumer choices, that
Yeah.
such as you could tie this to organic food products.
Absolutely.
You could tie this to more responsibly sourced coffee, for example.
Absolutely.
So when you put all of that together, it feels like a more you're pushing for a more sustainable lifestyle that is not just theory. Like it's actually things that you could action right away. Your choices of what you put inside your home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it gives our customers, it definitely gave me that platform of I'm making a change. I don't have to change everything, but I can make some changes, and it can ripple and it can inspire other people to follow that. And
Can I open this?
yeah, absolutely. So for a lot of our customers, because the product it looks attractive as well, it's a very shareable gift. So it is something that you take to a housewarming, or it's something that you want your friends to know too. You don't want to gatekeep, and it's become a tool for people to say, listen, I've started this lifestyle, as you said, I've started this new way of consuming something or using something, and I want you to do it too. So I think it's almost a tool to advocate for better consumption.
By the way, I've noticed it's more sturdy, it's more firm.
It is. So bamboo has really long fibers.
Okay.
You'll feel it with bamboo textile clothing as well. They're very stretchy. They're very absorbent. So you don't like sweat in your bamboo clothes, or it doesn't feel like sticky after you've worked out in them. And the tissues operate the same way. They can like really hold a lot of water without like pulping away.
Okay.
I think you just kind of expect that from tissues, and bamboo gives it to us naturally.
Why isn't bamboo the standard material used for tissue paper?
Good question.
Yeah.
It is a more premium raw material. It's not as commonly used generally. In Asia, it's used quite regularly. I think it's still at an age where it's a unique, good to have side material. And perhaps as it starts to build popularity, bigger brands would tap into it too. But yeah, tree pulp is kind of easier to process. It's commonly available, but it's also finite, right?
Okay.
It's going through our forests quite a bit, and I don't know for how many more years the tissue industry would be able to rely on tree pulp alone.
Okay. Whereas bamboo is something that can be grown in controlled environments.
And it's a grass. So when you harvest it with a tree, when you cut it down, it's essentially gone forever. And that's what causes deforestation. You have a stump in its place. So not only you no longer have the tree that operates as like the lung of the planet, but you also can't grow anything again unless you like chemically kill the roots and pull it out, which you can imagine it takes a lot of effort. There's a lot of promise of replanting trees to supplement for what's being cut down, but that takes decades.
Okay.
So with bamboo, when we harvest it, it grows back from the same root. And if you've ever had bamboo in your backyard, you know that it's nearly impossible to get rid of it. It kind of grows
very
like
resilient. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember bamboo as what do you call? I always see it in martial arts films because it serves as like they make weapons out of it because it's such a sturdy material.
Absolutely, it's incredible because it has a tensile strength of steel.
Yeah.
And
Oh wow.
it also has that softness. So it really it gives you the perfect combination of a raw material. It's used in like infrastructures of airports.
Yes, yeah.
And buildings, and also for the softest tissues and textile material.
Okay, cool. Okay. So, obviously this is it's a niche within the industry because right now they, like you explained, they're using the more common tree pulps.
Yes.
That's part of this industrial complex where they probably mass produce these things to a scale in which bamboo is not just going to be adapted overnight, right? So I guess the question I want to ask is, What would it take for bamboo to be the new standard? Will it always remain a niche, you think?
I don't think so. I think we've definitely seen it grow in popularity in the West a lot more than we've seen, obviously, in the Middle East. So to give you a little bit of a benchmark, if you look at US and Europe, 10% of tissue market is now eco tissues. So that's partially bamboo, partially recycled, or a combination of both. If you look at the same statistics here, it's about 1%. So there's still a lot of room for it to grow to catch up with standard tissues. But obviously here we have a lot of work to do to grow to that 10% as well. And we've seen it kind of try to work its way towards a higher share.
Are you the only brand on the market here in the Middle East that is supplying bamboo or sustainable tissues to the market, whether it's B2B or B2C?
No, there are a couple of brands available here. They're imported brands. So we're, I would say, the only brand that's UAE based and the only one that's really building a brand, because it's one thing to have your product available. It's another to feel like you are able to be part of the communities that matter, to speak to your customers, that your customers advocate for you. We're not a passive product. We're really a part of, our customers' homes, their events, the larger kind of.
Yeah, you're not just OEM. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you say marketing, you're building a brand. What do you guys do to promote the brand?
So again, because we started e-commerce first, it also meant that digital marketing was a huge part of what we did as soon as we were able to spend. So we think of Meta and Google as kind of the foundation, and that's like basic blocks of advertising, influencer marketing and collaboration.
Okay.
Sampling. It's such a big driver of trial. It's incredible. And not sampling. I think I looked at sampling very differently several years ago before I launched Bamboo, and that, you'll be in a supermarket stand and you'll hand out samples to passersby. And today the way we do it is that we are in smaller communities. So I don't need to be in front of 5,000 people at a time. I can be at an event where there's 200 people, but they are my customers. And like the conversion and stickiness that happens there is just invaluable. So it really is. Like,
tell us more about that. So it's okay. So you plant yourself in community gatherings. Is that something you organize, or you just find these gatherings?
We have, I think now, obviously 4 years in, it's kind of a bit more natural for it to either be picked up proactively or for us to know what those events are. But we have a very good idea of who our audience is.
Are those like flea markets, events? And
no, so less markets. Again, think much smaller. So there would be a Pilates studio that has an event around wellness. We want to be there. Or think about
and how do you find those things out? Just from your own personal.
That's a thing. When you have a founder operated business, you also build your network and village around the things that interest you and interest your customers. We speak to our customers so much. We have a lot of business clients that are actually studios and healthy restaurants, and like you kind of start there. You have your proof of concept and it works for your business, or it works great for them. They have a great response within their clients, and then another partner would come and say, you know what, I actually want to do this for my business. So it's kind of grown word of mouth. And then once you have that formula, it also becomes easier to justify then to say, I want to do this at scale now. I want to be at, I don't know, there's a concert that I know my customers will be at and I want to be there. It's justifiable when you have the small base proof.
Okay. So is this planned? Like, do you go through a process where you identify, okay, these are the hot happenings within the community and we need to be here?
Yes.
That's cool. So concerts, Pilates studio, what else?
You have like foodie events. You've got summits you've got. There's a World Biohack event that's happening later this year.
Okay.
And again, none of them are far from where our audiences would operate in, right? So you wouldn't, I don't know, I'm trying to think what wouldn't be us, because tissue gets used in quite a lot of places, but we know we can identify kind of those moments and occasions and communities.
It's a very harmless product that can go anywhere. So
but you also, like, what you don't think about is the cost of sampling. So you are foregoing thousands of units of your product. So we've had to be selective and, like you said, have a plan and say, these are the 5 moments where I want to be part of these events, and these are the micro occasions that fall under them, and I want to be in these places. Sometimes it could be as small as, I know one of my clients is a host, and she has friends over every weekend, and she does these like incredible, elaborate tables, and that becomes an opportunity for us to be a part
dinner,
of, and
like food tasting or dinner parties,
supper clubs.
Okay. Is there a lot of supper clubs happening now?
I mean,
I've heard of a few.
There's a community of it. It's that's why I love the UAE as well. It is not a massive market, but it's so diverse, and there's something for everyone. And because you're always 2 degrees removed from the person you need to know, it's also very easy to kind of grow within the communities that you're interested in. And
that's so true. I mean, I think the degree of separation is seriously what do you call it? It's incredible how everybody, in one way or another, just knows the same people. Right? Like, you could be talking about somebody that you should not know, and but there is somebody who knows that person. And next thing you know, that night they will turn up, and see you at the cafe. It happens so often. Okay, so I want to talk about the business side of how you set up. Okay, so a lot of our viewers, I'm hoping we have a lot of viewers who want to start their own business in the UAE. And in the UAE, the country has made it easier and easier every year to get started, to get your project out there, and find, there are many different ways of setting up. What was your path? How did you set up the business?
Yeah, so I can only speak to kind of the trading licensing and path that I've went down. Obviously, there's so many different ways you can set up as a freelancer. You can set up as a trading organization. There can be a holding company from the start. So I'll start where I started.
Yes.
And it's funny you asked me, because one of our investors today was, before they set up their VC, was an acquaintance of mine, and he had already set up his startup several years ago. And I picked up the phone and I asked him, I was like, what comes first? Is it a bank account or the trade license? And they kind of are. They do go together, and you are investing in your trade license without knowing when the bank account will be operational. And there were all these questions, but it's quite simple. You decide on kind of the license that your business needs. For us, it was a trade license. We're a trading company, essentially.
Can you get can you get a trading company license from a free zone?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, you can. You can go mainland, or you can go free zone, depending on who you want to trade with, essentially.
And you guys chose
free zone.
Free zone. Okay.
Free zone, yeah.
So after you set up the license, naturally next comes the bank account.
Yes.
How did that go?
Slowly.
Wow.
So I think depending on your nationality, your source of income, your past experiences, things can be as fast as a few days to a few months.
How long did yours take?
2 months.
2 months?
2 months, yeah.
Wow.
But
this was back when?
In 2021.
2021. 2 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that normal back then?
Yes and no. So I was told, maybe to also add a bit of information, I used an organization called Trade License Zone, and they help set up companies. And they're great because they kind of take out the admin work out of a lot of the things that you have to do early on. And they did give me a heads up, and they're like, listen, they kind of defined a few banks that were more ready, startup friendly, and kind of diverse and in the portfolio of clients that they accept. And they said expect a longer wait.
Oh, okay. And you are from, where are you from?
I'm from
Sahar?
Iran.
From Iran, okay.
Yeah.
And well, considering the number of businesses opened here by so many different nationalities, I'm guessing this gets tricky, doesn't it?
It does, but you work around the timelines, and there's always a way. And
Yeah. I mean, I can talk from
Yeah.
experience. When I set up my first company, also around the same time, 2020, a year before yours, it did take us a while.
Yeah.
It did take us a while. And then I did hear that maybe it has to do with your nationality.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, fine, let's try my other partner. Yeah, but he's also from the same country. And but it took a while, but it did reach there, and it also took 2 months.
Yeah.
I heard now it's far easier.
Possibly.
Did you hear about, I think certain banks can open a business account for you in 3 days. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you can also, there's a lot of banks that you don't even have to do anything physical, like you're literally doing everything through the app. And
right, because I heard like an insane statistic about how many new businesses open in the UAE on a daily basis since 2024, I think, or 2023. So with so many businesses flooding the market, the process has to be far faster than it used to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But okay, so bank account.
Yeah, so that was kind of like then an early challenge, but one that, you can't do much about. You just put it in the system and you wait. And then I think post that I was very confident about the product. So I had no doubts. I didn't take any feedback from anyone. I was like, these are the designs that we're doing, and this is the number of sheets, and this is the experience. And
that's your specialty from your marketing side.
Yeah, absolutely. But also I didn't want to compromise on the end experience of the product. So there was a world in which we could have gone with like a slightly lower quality and lower price. Because of that, I was like, you know what, let's just go with the best. Like, that's what I'm building. I'm building a brand, I'm building trust. So product creation came so naturally. I knew amazing photographers and video editors. So that's kind of like the first 3 months of the work around our product development plus like marketing aspects.
So that's your social media campaign you're putting together. So are you doing that at the same time as you're working out the product side?
Yes. So once we had the product sampled, the marketing samples ready, I could start working on the production of the assets while we went into mass production of actually creating.
Okay, so once you had your prototypes were ready, and those became the material, your beauty packs, if you want, for your social media campaign.
Yes.
Okay.
So that worked in parallel. Products, I think, reached Dubai in September 2021. And in the meantime, I was working on the website, and halfway through building our website, I was like, wait, how do I collect payments? I have my bank, I have my website.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
You need a payment gateway.
Okay.
And obviously it's like standard information now, but back then I was like, okay, how does it connect? Like, there's all these little questions that no one has a playbook on. And every business has such different unique needs that you almost can't put it into that playbook. You're like, listen, you just have to go through it and find your challenges as you go.
Are you available on e-commerce?
Yes. So we started pure e-commerce, actually. We only went into retail, physical retail, I would say, very lightly last year. And then we're in Schweitrams and more stores to come this year.
Okay. And e-commerce, where were you available? Through your own portal, or?
So we operate our own website on Shopify, bamboo.com, and then we're everywhere. So Amazon, Noon Minutes, Talabat, Careem, Deliveroo.
How do you get to these places? Just, for the benefit of our viewers who might be interested. How is that process started?
So Amazon there's 2 ways on Amazon. There's Amazon Seller, which you can set up as a business yourself, and it's quite DIY, and there's a lot of tools to help you build it and grow it within Amazon itself. So that's fantastic. I would say that would be the starting point. And then you have channels that you have to sign up with as a vendor, right? So the first platform I wanted to go to was Gibson's. And, I knew they have our customers. Again, from like our early first 100 customers, I knew that that's where they also shop when they're shopping online. And I reached out to them, I think, I don't know, maybe through LinkedIn. I just kind of stalked their procurement manager and sent a LinkedIn message, sent an email, sent them my products, and they're like, but you only sell toilet paper. How can we list you? And I was like, no, it's a really cool product. I promise, try it. And it took a year.
Yeah.
We were negotiating to get in for about a year.
Just to get in.
Just to get in.
Just to get in, you had to message somebody on LinkedIn personally.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, there's various ways.
Of course.
But your network probably works as the best intro.
As with
anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially you find the right point of contact. Sometimes it's leadership, sometimes it's the category manager, sometimes it's the buyer and procurement manager. It really is, I would say, knock on any door that's closest to you. And from there you negotiate your margins and commercials. Which
so that's not standard, right? It's not like everyone on that platform gets the same margin.
No. So
how is that negotiated?
So usually there's a few things. Each category has different ranges of margins. So you have a different margin structure for confectionery than you would for tissues, than you would for vegetables. And so we were looking at personal care category, and there's a range, right?
What is the range for the, what did you call it? Personal care?
Again, platform to platform, it can vary. In some platforms, you're paying 40-50%, in retail 50 plus. Others are 20. I would say no less than 20. I haven't had a partner that has taken less than 20%. 20 is pretty good for a platform that gives you that visibility and volume. And
20 to them.
20 to them, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty decent. Yeah. 40 becomes painful. 50, you're starting to question whether I'm paying for marketing or I'm actually making money out of this.
Yeah, that feels more like an investment for exposure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is, again, you have to, I think when you're pricing your product, you need to be looking at the value chain and, okay, this is the bottom-up experience. This was my cost price. And then from here, I'm paying customs taxes. I'm paying 20% for marketing. I'm paying 20 to 40% to a retailer. Then I'm also paying for warehousing and delivery and fulfillment and And like from there, you're like, what's the price that my customer will pay? And if between your cost price and what your retail price should be, you're not making any money, you need to go back to the drawing board.
Okay. So you mentioned fulfillment, right? That is basically that's your logistics, right?
Yes.
Can you explain how that works? So do you have your products in a warehouse somewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
So how it works is that you have your own manufacturing facility or you're making it with a partner. And at the end of the day, it comes to a warehouse where everything sits. All your products have to have barcodes and they have to be accounted for. So you have an inventory management system and you know at any given day how many of that product you have. And
your inventory management system is that a software that you can get off the shelf, or did somebody?
I'm sure there is. We worked with a partner that did our warehousing, fulfillment, and deliveries, and they would send
somebody sat with you to customize this, the software for your business.
They didn't do it for us. So the information would sit with them, and we would get reporting from them.
Oh.
I'm very positive that it can also. There's an off-the-shelf, probably an inventory management system that you can tap into, but I can't speak to that.
So apologies, I'm gonna ask very, very basic questions because I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah.
So in your warehouse, is there a screen or a computer where somebody inputs the data, or you're doing this remotely?
So No, so there's a manual process of counting that that has to happen at the beginning when you're inbounding the inventory into the warehouse. So, I have 10,000 units of this, 5,000 of that. And then as they go outbound, it can get either manually adjusted or scanned out. So like you would in a store, right?
Okay.
Oh, this t-shirt has been sold, checked out. We have one less of it.
Okay, so there's somebody in the warehouse who is going to scan out these items, and that's then input into the software.
The system, yes.
Okay. And then how does it work with e-commerce then? How do how do your people in the warehouse know what items go where?
So let's talk Shopify first, and then I'll talk about channel and how your inventory moves to each channel. So with Shopify, you can connect to the inventory management system. So when we receive an order on our own website, the same notification of that order goes to the warehouse. The warehouse picks, packs, and checks out the product, and that's inventory out.
Okay, that's your classic.
That's your classic.
That's your classic system. Okay, with Shopify, is it the same thing?
Yeah, so that's Shopify plus warehouse.
Okay.
Inventory system combined.
Okay, so from Shopify's data, it goes directly from the Shopify app, it goes directly into. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. I mean, Shopify is incredible, I would say.
Yeah.
It's until today, we've managed Shopify in-house. I built the website, and then now if we need like a little bit more of sophisticated work, we'll get someone to work on it for a few hours. But otherwise, it's quite straightforward, and I'm not tech savvy at all. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. Okay. So that's kind of the Shopify system. And then you have obviously platforms that you work with as partners, or as buyers. So there's Kipsons, Kareem, Talabat, etc., who actually buy from you, and they essentially send you a purchase order, and they say we need 10,000 of this, 5,000 of this.
Is that consignment basis, or it's just bulk order?
It's bulk orders. There can be consignment, not really with the larger e-commerce platforms. It usually happens with retail or concept stores, and we've decided to move away from that just because it's really complicated, and there can be damages, and it's not something that I've ever. It hasn't been my preference.
So with the other guys, when they get their bulk order, that's already them issuing you their PO.
Yes.
And those items, whether they sell it or not, they've already paid for it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, interesting.
And you agree based on the margin and commercial with that channel, that's their invoice price is 20%, 40%, whatever, less than your selling price.
Okay, because they become the retailer now. It's their business to
so it's bought off you and
to the consumers.
And then in that case, you are manually, as the brand, communicating with your warehouse and saying, prepare these items. And again, those bulk gets outbounded from the warehouse.
So does that mean Bamboo does not do any delivery direct to consumer?
No, actually, too, because I've known you for some time now, and we've signed with a distributor this year. So our inventory actually sits with our distributor, and the orders will get addressed to our distributor as well.
Okay.
So now what the kind of scope of work or the focus of the brand is not necessarily sell in, because sell in or getting the purchase order from the channel happens, and we've kind of built that traction. It's sell out. So what can I do within Amazon, within Kipsons, within Noon Minutes, and eventually my physical brick and mortar retail to improve that sell out and movement of the products. And which is obviously quite exciting.
So when somebody orders directly from your website, which they still can,
yes,
how does that product end up in their hands? Like what's the process?
So that warehouse, which is our distributor's warehouse, gets a notification.
Look, it's no longer your warehouse; it's the distributor's warehouse. So all the items are now sitting with the distributor.
Yes. Yeah, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they get a notification. I also get or we as a business get a
It's
notification.
their business now to deliver to them.
Absolutely.
And
But then
yeah.
customer experience still sits with the brand. So I want to make sure the product actually has reached my customer. If there's a customer complaint, it comes to the brand and we kind of coordinate that with our distributor to, rectify any issues that might have happened. But yeah, so we no longer own the operational side of the business, which is honestly, it opens up so much.
So cool.
It is cool. It's been amazing.
You've leveled up. That's great.
Yeah, we
Congrats.
have, and I think with an organization that's kept its size lean, and I've never been one to want to have hundreds of staff. Like we've really chosen well which muscles we need on the business.
I think that's the future for a lot of brands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It means that, but like on the organization, we can really focus on things that we do well, which is product experience, branding, and marketing. And
right. But what you've done basically is you've kept a lean team of, the concept people, the top line thinking people, and then you've dispatched to different operators who can take care of the the other side of distribution, the logistics, so on and so forth.
Yes.
So there was really no need for you to have an actual big organization that does everything. It's just a matter of knowing how to allocate the task.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah, finding the right partners.
How long did that take? So from opening Bamboo U in 2021, well, now it's 2025.
Yeah.
So did that entire process take you 4 years? 3 years? 4 years?
4 years. So up until, well, to be fully transparent, for the first 2 years, I operated a business. Like the only person full-time on the business was me. And then we hired an operations and e-commerce manager, which was the most important.
That was year 2?
That was year 3.
Year 3. Okay. So for the first 3 years, it was really just the founder doing everything.
First 2 years founder, year 3, second employee, let's say. And then from there, obviously, we've tapped into agencies, freelancers. Like there's a lot of work that I delegate to partners, and now you kiss a lot of frogs and you know what works for the business and what doesn't. And they also, I think with a startup, you kind of feel like you're partners with your freelancers. It doesn't feel, they don't feel too far from the business. They know the brand, they use the brand, they love it as much as we do. So it really is like having a big team without the commitment to having to have someone in office every day. And our work is quite we have different needs throughout the year, so we tap into the skill sets that we need as we go.
And you're benefiting from the ever improving freelancer industry too, because there was a time when freelancers
everywhere, right? It's like you don't have to look at the freelancer next door. We hire from all over the world, and you have platforms like Upwork that give you access to skill sets of all ranges,
Fiverr and so on. But also here in the UAE now, because they've made it so easy to have a freelancer's visa.
Yes,
you have professionals who no longer have to rely on a regular job in order to be independent. So you've got a whole pool of talent now that's available. Mostly, are they young people, the freelancers you hire?
Not necessarily. We, I have our photographer is a new mom. She's been like obsessed with photography all her life, and she was, she did kind of our first set of shoots, and like we've tapped into her skill set with every new launch. We have. No, we honestly, it's been, I think, all age ranges are open to freelancing now.
Cool. And they have their own network too. So when you meet one, they'll introduce you to the next recommended freelancer for something similar, for a related task.
Exactly.
That's cool. Tell us what it's like being on Shark Tank.
It was, I would say, the coolest business experience I had. It's equal parts intimidating and exciting, and it can make for a soup of failure, but also the outcome
You walk
can
into
be
the room,
incredible.
there's like 4 of them, 5 judges.
5 judges,
Yeah.
massive stage, lights, and
That's not rehearsed, right?
I mean, you can rehearse on your own.
On your own,
but
yeah.
there's
When you face them,
no,
that's for the first time.
You're given 3 minutes. It's your first time seeing them.
Yeah.
And there's no re-record. What's a professional term? Like it's just shot in one.
Pre-recording. There's no pre-recording.
Yes, it's one shot. If you mess up, it's there. And so your pitch is 3 minutes, and then there's a few more minutes after that for Q&A and negotiation and so on. So it was a really, really, really cool experience, obviously. It was around the time that we were preparing to fundraise anyway. So it was fantastic. I already had a very good idea of what our pitch deck was, what our ask is, what the valuation should be. And it was also I would have waited if I could to pitch later once we had established our cart issues, which had just launched when I went on Shark Tank. And we were entering some new channels, and it was really around the time where we were going to see that kind of tipping point of Bamboo, and we did. It was like we've grown 4x since the Shark Tank episode was recorded. So it was not, I had the tools, I didn't have the proof that guys, we're there. Like the valuation I'm showing you can't be based on today's performance, because I've launched 2 new products. We're going into retail. We have our retail packs. We're changing these foundational things about the business that, allow us to reduce cost.
Yeah.
And I think when you're speaking with investors, they need to they want to immediately see.
Of course, you want to get to the point.
It's not what you believe your valuation is. It's what the numbers say today.
Yeah.
And because I had the confidence that we are going to reach there, and because it was also we weren't desperate for money. It was not. It was a really good to have.
Yeah.
The business was going.
Puts you in a position of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like, we're going to put this money towards marketing and product development and going into Saudi Arabia. And all of them are amazing leaps, but it's not going to break the business. And so the conversation was, the decision was easy to receive offers and say, thank you, but it's not right for me right now.
Yeah. How did you do that? Because most people, when they end up in a show like that, they're never going to say no. And you said no.
Yeah. Wow. I had 2 offers. The valuation was off. And I think it comes down to knowing, again, not like sensing what your business is valued, because if you ask any founder, they'll probably inflate it. Just, rightfully so. It's your business, it's your heart, it's your time.
It's your baby.
It's your baby. But you also, I knew my numbers, and I knew what the valuation should be. And it was just far off. And you are giving up equity, right? They were asking for, I think, 30% equity. And it's a lot. It's like, I want to, and the more we've gone into conversations with investors, the more I've realized that it's not attractive for a founder to have a small portion of their business. I want to maintain, even as we grow and we go to a Series A, I want to maintain like over 60% of my business.
Yeah, because eventually you'll get to your second round, third round.
You'll get diluted. You'll keep getting diluted.
And your new investors at that stage will not be so confident, seeing that the founder or the CEO.
Yes, you want to go in strong, and you want to kind of maintain that position. So it was.
Did you know you were going to say no?
No, I didn't. I went in with a very open mind, and I thought, I knew what the ask was, is the thing, right? I knew what I wanted out of it, and I tried to push back and try to see if, we can come closer to what we're looking for. And it was just so far from what we had asked for that, I thought, like, for the sake of entertainment, I'm not going to like continue the power negotiation experience.
Right. Yeah. It was still good TV though, right?
It was really, honestly, it was really fun. It was really cool. My husband was, so you can actually go with with an advisor who can be backstage for you in case you need to go and consult. And I don't think you could hear everything, but then I walked away, and he's like, what happened? I was like, I just said no. And we were both, I mean, Ali's also, he's an advisor and board member on the business. So we knew what we wanted out of it. And where the walkaway was. So
Okay.
it was not difficult making
So
the
it
call.
was not devastating
No,
by
absolutely
any
not.
stretch.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. And just a few months after that, we fundraised at the valuation that
Oh, great.
we saw fit for
Paid
the
off.
business. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So
no, it was
that had to happen though. Eventually, how they say one thing leads to everything is connected and happens for a reason. So I think
no,
that must have happened for a
absolutely.
reason.
Yeah, no, it was we had a very successful round that we just closed a few months ago. So
Wow.
no, I'm glad we went the way we did.
Great. Business is growing. You got good PR, social media. You've got everything there. You have your team set in place. You also now have other people helping you, so it's not completely on your shoulder.
Absolutely.
How happy are you?
Couldn't be more grateful. Like it's like pinch myself every day that I'm doing what I love, that creates impact, that my kids can be a part of, that I get to enjoy my product every day. I'm my own best customer. And yeah, and to see it grow and build something for that's better for the environment, for everyone that comes across it. It's really,
It must feel
I thank
good.
God every day.
Yeah, it must feel good for you to feel validated in your choice of having done this a few years back when you were thinking, is it worth?
It could go either way, right?
Yeah.
It's not, you have to get lucky. I think that's the thing.
Do you think luck played a big role in your success?
I work really hard.
Yeah.
Right.
So you make your own luck.
You make your own luck.
Yeah.
But it's also, things could go wrong even if you've worked really hard. And I think I've met incredible people along the way. I've met people that believe in my vision, that want to invest in what our future could be. I have amazing advisors. I have amazing partners, freelancers. It just is.
But not all the time, huh?
incredible
I do
ecosystem.
remember you told me there were people you met in the past who were not supporters of the idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. So it was very early on in the establishment of Bamboo Youth. It was when I had my prototype, basically. I had my marketing assets or product. And I started going out to the suppliers, tissue suppliers in the UAE, factories essentially. And I went to an upwards of 20, I think, at that time. And every single one not only told me not to, like, that they won't do it because it's not, they don't have the right machinery, it's not the material they usually work with, we don't have the right minimum order to start with, but also completely discouraged me from starting the business.
Oh my Lord. Is it a case of sustainability? This is just a fad.
It's just
It will
a fad.
go away.
There's no audience for it. You're just gonna waste your time and money. And I was like, fantastic. No one's doing this. Great. I'll do it. Don't worry. And you find a way, and that
You stuck
kind of
to your
turned out.
guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're now going to play a game. Okay. It's a quick fire kind of thing that we do here at the show. It's called Do the Needful.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a few. I'm going to ask you quick questions, and you have to answer immediately with what comes to you off the top of your head right away.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. Do the Needful with Sahar of Bamboo U. First one. You need to order in. First thing that comes to mind.
Kareem now.
Okay, Kareem would work.
Yeah.
You need to take a loan. Quick.
Friends and family.
You need to drive a car. Brand.
Volkswagen.
You need to listen to music.
Oh, something old.
Old, like
From the 80s.
like
Spice Girls.
Spice Girls is not from the 80s. That's from the 90s.
Was it 90s?
Yeah.
Okay. What would I do? Oh, Freddie Mercury.
Okay, Freddie Mercury works.
Yeah.
You need to buy clothes.
Online.
Okay. You need to go on a date.
With my husband.
You need to have dessert.
Tiramisu.
You need to buy property.
MR.
Okay. You need to party. Where would you party?
At home, house party.
Okay. And you need to keep living sustainably.
Bamboo you.
Bamboo you. There you go, guys. Great. So that's you do the needful. And now the very last thing we're going to do. This segment is called Best Regards.
Okay.
Okay. I'd like you to dictate an email as if you're really writing an email to CC subject. Dictate it as if I'm your secretary.
Okay.
Make it a short note.
Okay.
It's an email to everyone who has supported and helped Bamboo You get to where it is now.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I'm ready. Dictate to me. What am I doing?
Okay. To all customers, thank you for helping Bamboo You reach here. We started 4 years ago with nothing but a dream for better toilet paper. And today we have a full range of tissues made from bamboo, amazing quality, something that you all love and use and gift every single day. And I couldn't be more proud and grateful for being here.
Okay.
Best regards.
Signed, Sahar of Bamboo You. Send?
Send.
Sent. Thank you, guys. That was our episode with Sahar. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you. It's amazing.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.